My background was actually in law enforcement. I spent a career at the sheriff's office in Jackson, worked my way up to the office of sheriff, and so 34 years in law enforcement, the last 8 of which were as sheriff. And then I felt that it was time for a challenge and a change, and I did get appointed by Governor Snyder to be his director of the Department of Corrections in June of 2011. So it was, I've had an interesting career, or one that filled with challenges and surprises, and certainly this last one is, I was looking for a challenge and I found one. Well, I truly believe that I wouldn't be in the position I'm in today were it not for the master's degree that I got at Michigan State. And the reason I say that is that it really was a systems education. I mean, that the teaching, the classes I took were taught by people from all parts of the criminal justice system. I had people who were, law enforcement administrators, I had court administrators, there were prosecutors. It gave me, I think, that broad base that really served me well in my current position as the director of the Department of Corrections. Obviously, there's an interaction and interplay between all those components, but it was that master's degree, I think, that put me in a position to be effective in this kind of a job. I think that I got exceptional instruction at MSU. So it was a good degree for me, and the broad base of it, I think, was key. It did have a corrections focus, but it gave me an opportunity to seek and get instructions in other parts of the system. And so I think that's what made it special. I think it's providing the resource, at least in my business, that's most vital, and that's personnel. It's training people to accept these positions, these tough jobs, and doing them efficiently and effectively. And for me, of course, the biggest challenge has been controlling the budget. The way we've been successful doing that in corrections is embracing change and innovation. And you need educated people to do these jobs. And I also think it encourages people to challenge themselves, to try jobs and opportunities that press them to be everything they can be professionally. So MSU and any institution of higher learning, I think, creates that pool of applicants and gives them the start. Now, obviously, experience helps, and I had a lot of practical experience, but it gave me the foundation to do all the jobs that I held throughout my career. And careers are funny things. They take paths that you didn't anticipate. I don't think I ever envisioned myself in my earlier days being the director of the Department of Corrections, but the opportunities presented themselves, and I felt prepared and ready to test myself. So the reason I think it's so vital for MSU to endure is that it continues to pump people into that resource pool and prepare them, at least initially, for the challenges ahead. And they're not going to be easy. My example as director is I think, typical of what people in positions like mine face nowadays. Terribly challenging conditions. East Lansing has got a beautiful campus, but for me it was those warm fall days where the band was practicing the day before the game. If that doesn't get you going, I don't know what would. But I can remember, coming and going from the graduate studies library, and the band would be playing, and I'd stop, take the time to take it in. But I don't know how you beat that. Big Ten football, warm fall day. That's pretty vivid in my mind. When I was at the university, I took a criminal law course from a guy by the name of Zoltan Ferenczi. And Zoltan was, as you probably might remember, quite a character, and he had quite a reputation. And he was a little bit left of center politically, but he used to allow law students to audit the same course. They could come and sit in, and and he would present the cases, and then they would have open debate, and it was the law students sparring with Zoltan, and the rest of us kind of sat and watched, the people that were paying for the course. But in my mind, I think I was just struck by how that for me was what academic institutions ought to be about, that free exchange of debate and issues and topics, and Zoltan never shied away from it. The students used to love to come there to spar with him, but that was just a great course. Not because I believed totally politically in a lot of his positions, but I just loved the exchange between the students and the professor, and it just, to me, it was everything academia ought to be about.